Well, I was just listening to Makenzie Phipps's new song called Drag, and it already has over close to 2,000 hits on it. It's just 3 days ago. I'm so excited because joining us now is Makenzie Phipps. Hello.
Hi,
How, hi, how are you?
I'm doing so good. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, your new song is really nice, your new single. Tell us the background about Drag.
I had the wonderful opportunity of getting to go down to Nashville, Tennessee this past summer, and I got to go into studio with Grammy nominated producer Mr. Sal Oliveri, and I just love him to death. He is one of the nicest people I've ever met and one of the most humble people I've ever met. And, I got to go into his studio and record 6 songs, and 3 of them I co wrote on some of them, and they were written by my backup singer and guitarist, Mr. Shane Begley, and the other 3 were pitched to me from Nashville songwriters, and Drag happened to be one that was pitched. And I was able to listen to it, and I really liked how it sounded. And I was like, I think this would be a really good song to release. So I'm gonna just take it on. And it was a amazing experience, and I got to work with so many different talented individuals. So I'm just so happy with how it turned out.
It sounds wonderful, absolutely fantastic. Now, it's a process when you're launching a music career like you've been doing over these years. What's a good first step for someone? Like, what do you feel like you've done that has allowed you to like get here into the limelight more? Like, was there one thing or a combination of things? Maybe something inspirational that someone who's always wanted to do it but hasn't been able to be as successful as you are right now.
I started out really young. I started singing when I was 4 years old. And, I didn't learn instruments till I was a little older. I learned piano when I was 10 and then guitar when I was 15. And, I always tell people who are trying to get into the music industry to, always stay true to who you are and, definitely be building your social media platforms because, I've been building and building my Facebook and Instagram and all my other social media platforms since I was 14 years old. And that's when I actually started performing out in public at shows when I was 14. And definitely just, like I said, staying true to who you are because, I've been doing this for quite some time now, even though I'm fairly young and even though I don't feel young. But, I've always stood my ground with my beliefs and I've always stood my ground with who I wanted to be as a person and who I wanted to convey to people. So that's definitely the first step.
I love that, staying true. You're right. So you're in Virginia, and then you decided that this body of work, these new songs, these singles that you were going to put out, you were going to record them like in a high professional type of studio, and then you're releasing them one by one. That's your intention right now?
Yes, yes. I released Drag last Friday, which was November 4th, and the other 5 I will be releasing sporadically within the next couple of months. So y'all can be on the lookout for that on all of my social media pages, and I cannot wait to share them with everyone.
And what is it like when you first started getting fan mail, Makenzie? Like when you finally realized that people were listening to you, that you were entertaining them, that they were resonating with you, like what was that like in the beginning? And do you answer your own fan mail still?
Gosh, it was just so crazy because, I started all my social media platforms when I was 14, and I would do some covers here and there because at that age, I really hadn't established that I wanted to do country music. That's who I wanted to market myself as in that genre. And, when I was 14, all I was doing was just doing songs that I liked. I would go from singing Demi Lovato to Loretta Lynn to Avril Lavigne at my shows and, for the longest time, I really didn't know which path I wanted to go down. But, my family, who's always been such a big support system to me, has always told me that I have that natural country twang in my voice, and especially with singing. And I just really enjoyed singing country music, and I love all of the country music people. And that's just the path that I decided to choose.
I agree with you. There's something very neighborly about people that sing country, right? Oh, I hear your kitty. Is that your kitty cat? Oh, what's your kitty
Yeah.
cat's name, Mackenzie? Is
It's
that Raven?
Raven.
So you
Yes, I'd
put Raven in
actually.
the other room because you weren't sure you wanted her to make a an appearance,
I
but
know. She always knows when I'm doing now she's leaving. She always
okay.
knows when I'm doing interviews.
So 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 you
Yes.
So you started young, you built your social media up, you practiced your instrument, your beautiful voice, you started writing some songs and collaborating with people, and now you're able to like perform out live again and things like that. You also have something special around the holiday season for people too. What is that?
Yes, so I actually have my Christmas song, which I released last Christmas, which is called Christmas Snow. And a lot of people seem to really enjoy it. And, that song was actually a struggle writing because, my PR firm had pitched the idea to me on writing a holiday song, and I had never done that before. And surprisingly, neither had my backup singer and chorus. And me and him, we were working on it, and we tried working on it for so long, and it just was not coming together the way it should have. And we were down to the last day before we were going to perform, before we were going in the studio to record it. And we eventually got it done in one day. We wrote it in one day, put the music to it. I was like, it's not perfect, but we're going to wing it and we're going to go with it. And I went in studio, and it turned out far better than any of the expectations I had.
Love that. Now, being in Virginia, have you actually seen snow? Does it snow where you're from?
Yes, it snows every winter here.
Nice, nice. Because there's certain people that I've met, I guess over the last like year or two, and they're like, I just interviewed somebody from Jamaica the other day, and they're like, they've never seen snow, and I'm like, you've never seen snow? Like I was like, wow, But it's nice. Growing up, also, I came and I had the Four Seasons, which I thought were wonderful, and um, I do think even if you live in the South and you don't get to see any snow, I love this old Christmas cartoon where they make it snow. It's like the snow miser, and that you probably have never seen it, but it's the cutest holiday movie that I just love seeing all the time. And they make it snow in the South. So, but Christmas Snow, we're going to be looking to that because maybe people didn't get a chance to hear it last year, and now they'll get to enjoy it this year coming up. Your new song, Drag, plus four more that are going to be coming out. Plus, you got a lot of hits talking about social media on your Alan Jackson cover. Can we just step back and talk about that too? Because that was wonderful.
Yes, so that was just so insane how it came about because during that time when I had done that video, before I had actually done it, I was going through kind of a mental setback a bit because I was talking about with my family. I was like, did I choose the right thing to do with my music? Am I going down the right path? And sometimes as a performer and a singer, you get very insecure because you just hope that you're giving the best product to my friends, as I call them. Everybody calls the people on their social media fans or followers, but I always call them my friends because they've been a part of my musical journey for so long. And, I always want to make sure I'm giving the best product to them. And, I'm very faith based, and, I like to put the good Lord's hands in everything that I do. And, I told him, I was like, am I doing the right thing? And, I do videos. I try to do videos at least once a week. I try to upload it every Sunday. And my Aunt Zena, she is so beyond supportive of my music, and she lives in Texas. And she had mentioned the I Want to Stroll Over Heaven to me a bit ago, and I had actually been learning it at one point, but I had put it to the side. And I had been missing her, and I was like, I'll do that song this week as a cover. So me and Shane had put together a video, and we had uploaded it. And, it maybe got 30,000 views in a couple of days. And I was like, it's not too shabby. And then it's like instant. I woke up and people started commenting on this video. And I was like, this is so insane. And I texted Scott and I was like, this video is really taking off. And he was like, okay, well, let me know when it gets to 250,000. And we'll see how that goes tonight. And this was like mid-afternoon. And I told him, I was like, well, it's going to hit like 500,000 by dinner. Like it's really
right,
going.
by the time I have like ham and green beans and cornbread, right, it's gonna be there.
Yeah, it's gonna be there. So he was so shocked because we were on the phone talking about it. And he was like, "Oh, I've got to get some interviews scheduled because this video is borderline viral." And just us being on the phone call, it's like the video would go up 1,000 views each minute that we were on the
Wow.
phone, and it was just so insane.
It must have resonated. Once again, that word resonated with people, and you touch, move, and inspire them, Makenzie Phipps. And it's going to be exciting to watch how this year, this year end of 2022 and going into 2023, things that it'll bring you, the blessings that'll happen for you on your journey. I believe in the same thing. Sometimes I get in my own way and I'll be like, I've been doing this television show now for 15 years, a new show every Saturday for 15 years. I can't even remember. Like, I look back and I was like, and there were times where I wanted to pull the plug and then something magical would happen. I'd put the plug back in. I'm like, I guess, God, you want me to still be doing this, bringing the good stories forward. And before you know it, there you go. I mean, it's been a while and I still enjoy it. I was excited all day long knowing that you were going to be calling in, and I was like, yay, this is going to be a fun and a good piece of I guess a good story. I love a good story, and you certainly have one. And this is just one chapter, Makenzie, right? There's so many good things that are going to just keep coming for you in your journey. So I guess if I can give you any words of advice, is to just keep doing it, just keep going, because obviously when you asked for a sign, you got one, right?
Yes, I did. Yes.
And I'm going to start calling my audience members friends too. I think that that's perfect, right? It's not your audience member, it's not your fans, it's your friends. So, and in closing, is there anything else that you would like to share with the audience? Maybe some words of advice or wisdom or anything that's on your heart right now that you would want them to know?
Well, if you have a dream and you have a passion for something, then do not ever hesitate to take that step to try to enter into a new world because, for the longest time, especially when I started out, I was so hesitant of trying new things. And, it was because I was terrified of failure, like beyond terrified. If I did something and it didn't get the outcome that I wanted, I broke myself down so many times and I tore myself down. And that's just not a way to do yourself because, people in this world, they make mistakes or they do things that aren't necessarily going to be what you thought they'd be. But, that's just another chapter that's closed for you to walk into a new one. So just always stay true to who you are and don't be afraid of failure because in order to succeed, you're going to have to fall down the steps a couple of times.
100%. 100%. You're absolutely right. I was trying to soundproof a sound booth this week, and it was like 4 times, 5 times, kept buying more soundproofing stuff. Finally, I got it. But, just that sense of not giving up on yourself, not making yourself wrong. I'm like, I'm going to figure this out. So I'm sending this heart to you. Can you see it? Wait, if I move it over onto the red side, there you go. Sending you a big heart. And to Raven, too. I hear Raven's back. Hi, Raven. It's Donna. Sending you a big hello.
Like she's up the stairs. She is so crazy. I'm telling you. I told my dad to put her up in that room, and she's got everybody in this house wrapped around her finger. So
well,
she likes to make special appearances. Yes, she likes to steal the spotlight, but she has not made her appearance physically, just verbally.
Verbally. Well, if you can, please send Scott a photo and we'll include that. So we love those pet photos, and I know you do a lot with the animal shelters and a lot with rescuing animals too. So continued success to you and all that you do in the world, Makenzie Phipps. Thank you for being here. It was a true joy to have you on the show.
You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. All you got to do is just look at Makenzie Phipps and maybe our paths will meet. But I really do appreciate you having me on the show today. It was a pleasure getting to talk with you.
Oh, you as well. And I hope we get to meet in person sometimes. Happy journey to you. Be well.